We got a guy coming up here right now who wants to give us some words of encouragement. Talk about BLM. So, what's your name? James Sullivan. Here we go.
All right, hey guys, my name is James Sullivan. I'm from Utah. I'm part of the Patriot group that came out from Utah, the Proud Boy chapter. So the group that I'm part of is called Civilized Awakening. I founded back with my brother John Sullivan. Organized he's Antifa. He organized a protest where a shooting occurred in Provo, and that's when you saw the rise of the Patriot movement in Utah. Not saying Proud Boys weren't there first, but anyways. So a lot of what we've been doing at Civilized Awakening, Blue Lives Unite Everyone, Concerned Citizens of Utah, is we've actually been going out and forming rallies and securing our great state of Utah, taking the narrative and the power away from Black Lives Matter, the radical left, and everything like that. I can safely say, as of right now, Utah is secure. The Patriots hold the stronghold in Salt Lake City. So just a couple names I just want to read off really fast. Black Lives Matter loves doing this, but these are names that they didn't care about. Bernal Trammell, David Dorn, Sequoia Turner. These are black lives that were taken by Black Lives Matter activists, or the 95% of Black Lives Matter that is white. The radical left, this all started when the front runner of the Democratic Party right now, Joe Biden, said that if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. You saw that the black vote went away from the Democratic Party the first time in 2 decades. You saw the Walk Away campaign, you saw the Awakening campaign, you saw black people, minorities, Hispanics, polys leaving the Democratic Party in masses, and what did they do? They weaponized a civil rights movement, they weaponized black oppression that starts in their cities, and a week after George Floyd, or the week after he said that on the Breakfast Club podcast with Charmaine the God, George Floyd was killed. And then that was put on the media for 24 hours for 2 to 3 weeks, and they started lifting up Black Death, and you saw the black vote go back towards the Democratic Party, but not at the rate that it did before. So I would like to say this about Black Lives Matter: as a black man, as a person of intelligence, somebody that educates himself on what's actually going on. Black Lives Matter is not a movement for black people. It is a Marxist movement. It is a movement to suppress the First Amendment speech. We've seen conservative pages all over America. We've seen the Proud Boys be nude from Facebook and from different platforms. Black Lives Matter is to spread the oppression, the manipulation and oppression that they have in their own cities, like Chicago, New York City, New Orleans. It is to spread that oppression all over America. My brother John Sullivan, he was an Olympic hopeful. He was a speed skater. He started 2 third-party logistics companies, was conservative, and they manipulated him, and Black Lives Matter came to Utah. He was at the D.C. Capitol saying he was going to pull the president out of office. That black man, that was my brother. He was raised by Lieutenant Colonel John Sullivan. I saw firsthand, as the radical left radicalized and manipulated my brother into self-oppression when this country, when capitalism gave him everything that he holds dear. It is very dangerous, it is very scary, and it's something that we have to unite as Americans, not as blacks, not as whites, not as Polynesians, but as Americans. We have to come to the table as Americans and sit down and figure out our nation's problems, because we can't rely on the government. Trump is great, but as Americans, we have to stand together and fight for what we know is right. So, one people, we are Americans. If you go to France, if you go to Germany, if you go to Iran, if you go anywhere else, they don't call them black Iranians, they don't call them black French, they call them Frenchmen, and they call them Iranian. And America has to be the same way. I am not an African American, I am an American. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to thank Sullivan so much for making me support me.
Alright, I got more actually. Part of your security has been